Hi, welcome to part 2, which is a clip where I'm sharing with you about a bookmark I'm making to pop in with an Etsy order for a client. I've started the video before fetching the one that I was pressing. So, bear with me. Well, I'm just coming back. I press everything under a pile of books before sending out, to make them a lot flatter than they were. That's still a bit twisty. Now, I've used particularly thin watercolour paper for this one because it's going to Ireland, the Republic of Ireland, so it needs to be able to fit into a large letter envelope, not be too thick. So I've used a thin one. If I'd have used a thicker one, you can see it dries a lot flatter. But I'm using a thicker one. But no matter, by the time it's been in the envelope and been in the post for a few days, it will be totally flat. You'll see that I've pierced a hole in here in the last video that we did. And I've stamped the back with my name on it. I'm going to keep that up right there. This is how I poked the hole in it. I'm just going to show you again with another one here, which I haven't poked the hole in. I do it in midair because I'm a skilled professional and I do all my own stunts. As you can see, that spins around there. Got a nice clean hole. The reason I love this is because I mucked about with scissors for ages and didn't purchase a tool because I was too tight to. And now I have. It's transformed how I do things. So now we have 3 little things here, and I'm going to introduce you to the safety pin. These I found on an online retailer, begin with A and ending with Maison. And they're like normal safety pins that you've seen for pinning your running numbers on if you're a runner. But they have this really quirky sort of round bit here, which I found is absolutely brilliant for housing charms. So when you undo it, it has this thing here. I'm just going to show you with this, where you can put a charm on and it just swings. Obviously, far superior to using the old-fashioned safety pin. Now, I buy charms in a bag of mixed excitement here because it's a reasonable way of buying them. They work out to cost less then if you buy them in bulk like this. You tend to get quite a nice mix of stuff. I filled an advent calendar full of them at Christmas. You can see there's some really cool different ones here. You can normally find something you're looking for. If it's just for an incidental little freebie for someone who's ordered something for me, they're not expecting anything, so anything's a bonus. So it's just a little something, and they're light as a feather. Oh, now there's a 4-leaf clover there, and I'm sending this to Ireland, so I'm tempted, because it's St. Patrick's Day as well. This week. I've just dated that video a little bit. By the time I put it online, it's going to be a little bit after that. But anyway, this might be more appropriate than the dragonfly I was going to do. The most important thing is I've picked one that's thin. Some of them turn out quite bulky. This one's a lot thicker and won't post as easily because when I do my post, I have a handy little tool here for checking that it'll go through this hole here. And by the time I put it in the envelope and it's quite thick, the trouble is it can exceed that, which means it costs more. And you have to go up into this bracket, okay? So I've just dropped my safety pin on the floor, but no matter, because it's one of my funky ones, I can see it straight away. So what am I going to do with this? I'm going to put it through the bookmark. Now, I made the hole not too far from the end because then that means that when I put the charm on it, it will actually clear the end. But if it doesn't, I can always cut a bit off. Okay, so I'm going to, I want to have that bit behind. So I'm going to make sure that my charm goes on like that because there's a front and a back to it. And then I'm going to poke that bit through the envelope, the piece of paper. And it's not quite long enough, you see. It's not quite clearing it, so I'm going to cut a little bit off. Try again. Yeah, it's much better. I'm just going to fasten it securely at the back. And hey presto, once you've fastened it, it hangs down and it's like quite funky. And it will hang out the end of her book when she uses it. So now all we need to do is put her name on it. And I can't remember her name. Oh my gosh. Yes, I can. Let's just look at it. I've got my computer open next to me. So I'm just going to double check. Her name is Jan. Jan. So I'm going to have that there. And I'm going to centralise it a bit. And I'm going to make a really long tail to the J. I've been using my pen just now, so although I have rough paper nearby, I'm not going to be using it to warm up because I already did. There's a couple of jitters there, but that's okay. You can really lightly use the point. And I think that it looks even better when you add a gem to the start and the end of the name if you don't have an I in the name or a J that's lowercase. There you go. And now, imagine Jan's face when she gets her card that she ordered for her friend, but there's also a little present for her in there. Don't underestimate this kind of little gesture. It should mean quite a lot to her when she opens it and realise I made it for her. It's not something I sell on my site because it's very simple to make, and I just see it as being a bonus extra. So that's going out to her today in the envelope with everything else. And I hope it's inspired you to perhaps knock up a bookmark out of some scrap paper. Fancy that. All of that is pretty much recycled. These safety pins here, they're really inexpensive. For a box of 250, it's only a few quid. And these are only a few quid, and there's about 250 in there. How many are there in there? Oh, 120. 120 in there. So please do let it inspire you to perhaps go and make something equally impressive. I'm going to do a few more now. Join me next time. Let me know if you've got a request for something you'd like to see me make. And I'll see you soon.